Hey guys, what's going on? Greenville Gear. Happy New Year. Hope you all are doing well. I took a little bit of a break over the holidays, but I'm back. I've been watching all your videos and just always collecting and all that stuff, but wanted to get back at it and show you some cards. It's been a fun project. This has taken certainly over a year, but I have a stack of slabs for my 1950s, 1960s PSA Hall of Fame kind of collection that I've been working on for baseball. It's been a lot of fun. But basically what I did is I was buying cards in GMA slabs, Beckett slabs, and so on, and I cracked them out and I sent them to PSA because I'm not super anal about my collection in terms of, what kind of grading company. I'll do obviously SGC slabs for T206 cards and that kind of stuff. Doesn't have to be consistent, but for this 1950s, 1960s Hall of Fame run, I'd like it to be consistent. So let me get into it and show you some of the cards and the results. So the first card, and I saved all of the little flips from the inside. This is a GAI card. This is a 1965 Topps Gaylord Perry that was graded by them as a 6.5. And so here's the card. And you can see that when it came back to me from PSA, it is a 7. Just a really sharp card. And so what I was doing is I was looking for value in some of those off-brand slabs, or maybe cards that were undergraded or just were a good price, sort of a combo of those things. But for this 1950s, 1960s run, I just like good centering, eye appeal. It's okay if it looks like a vintage card. That's just fine. But anyway, this is a 7, which actually in this run, most of my cards are 3s and 4s and that kind of stuff. So this was a really big win. So again, a GAI 6.5 to a PSA 7. That was pretty fun. Let me show you another card, actually from the same set, 1965 Don Drysdale. So this was a GMA slab, card 260, and GMA graded it at a 5. Again, looked pretty sharp, nice centering and so on. Here's the card. So I sent it to PSA. I cracked it out of the GMA slab. Again, it was a 5. PSA gave it a 3. So I think that there was a little more wear around the corners, perhaps. And I think in most cases these were, you could see some wear on that corner there and the upper left corner. No creases or anything, but just, sort of looks like a vintage card. And I'm just fine with that. I'll take a PSA 3 Drysdale all day for this project, and so it was fun. So if all of these came back downgraded, I was okay with it. The Gaylord Perry was up, the Don Drysdale was down. So that's the second card. Let's do the next one on the stack here. Kind of a similar story. This is a Sandy Koufax from GMA, and I think, again, the pattern is GMA would tend to grade a little higher than PSA on average. Feel free to let me know if you think that's the case too. But I think it's pretty safe to assume that. They're probably a little more lenient at GMA. So it's 1966 Topps Sandy Koufax. They scored this card, graded this card on that day as a 3.5. I cracked it out. You can see here, this corner right here, pretty rough. I cracked it out and sent it to PSA, and PSA thought it was a 2. Card number 100. Still, all day, I will take a Sandy Koufax in a 2. Pretty off-centered on the back, but from the front, just a nice looking vintage baseball card and a Hall of Famer. And I think, you'd have to correct me if I'm wrong here, but I think this is his last playing days card. Pretty cool. So that's that one. Up next, if I can find the flip, there's another GMA card. And this one looked pretty sharp. GMA scored it as a 5.5. And when I got it, and I remember when I cracked it out of the slab, it just seemed really crisp to me. And so I thought, and it always looked crisp even in the slab. So there's the Duke Snider. Pretty nice centering there. Sent it to PSA. Again, it was a GMA grade of 5.5. And PSA scored it a 7. So that was a win. Again, not that I cared too much. These are all going in the collection, regardless of if they're 2s or 7s. Doesn't really matter to me. because I've already kind of picked them because of how they look. The proverbial eye appeal, but anyway. There's the Duke Snider, a PSA 7. Really cool, 1959 Topps. I like this set a lot. All these 50s and 60s sets are great. Let me stick with 59 because it's the next one on the stack too. Oh, I should tell you, I think, no, that's it, 4 more. So let's stick with 1959. And here is this one. GMA graded it at a 4.5, also from the 1959 set. So many of you probably have seen this card before. There's the 1959 Hank Aaron. I don't have many Hank Aarons in my collection. I think this is only my second. So again, kind of with the pattern here. GMA had it as a 4.5. PSA got it from me and graded it at 2. And again, it's worth it to me. I want it consistent in a PSA holder. But you can see some rough corners. Looks like a vintage card. But again, when you look at it from here, it's like, oh wow, okay, that's a cool vintage card. PSA 2. So there's the Hank Aaron. Let's do 3 more left. Let's do this one. This was the only Beckett crack out I had, I think. And this was Beckett 3. 1966 Topps, card 1, and of course being card 1 poses all kinds of problems. Beckett has it as a 3, and by the way, if you ever cracked out anything out of a Beckett holder, it is a fortress. It takes a little bit of care and work, but anyway, 66 Topps, card 1, Willie Mays, and there it is right there. And actually, if it'll focus on the Mays, there it is. You can see here that despite this crease here and some rough corners, it's still a Willie Mays card. Beckett was probably a little generous with a 3 because PSA got it and it's a 1. Could it be a 1.5 or 2? Maybe, I don't know, but that's a pretty good crease. There's the back of the card. Again, it's a Willie Mays. All day I'll take a PSA 1 to live in my collection. Really fun card. 2 more cards left. Let me go to, I'll tell you this. I don't have the card for the video. This one I cracked out, and when I just looked at it, it had an ink stain on it. It was just a mess. I just decided this Whitey Ford was not worth sending into PSA. Sorry, I can't show it, but just trust me when I tell you the Whitey Ford, once it was out of that BCCG slab, it was a mess. Okay, 2 more cards. This is a card that I got in a GMA holder. Love this card. 1954 Bowman. Don't have a ton of Bowman in this run, in the 50s, 60s run, but I've got 4 or 5 now at this point. Minnie Minoso. GMA graded it at a 5 for the 54 Bowman. There it is. Cool card. Minoso is one of my favorite kind of Hall of Famers to collect. GMA 5, PSA 4. What a cool card. Card number 38. Great Cuban player. 54 Bowman, Minnie Minoso. Awesome. Love that card. So happy to have that in the collection. And the last one to show you, it's another Beckett 19... Oh, no. I don't know. That's... Did I mess up here? And I seem to not have the flip for this one. So maybe I messed up here. Nope, there it is. Found it off camera. Last card. 1960 Topps. 1960, if you watch the channel, is one of the sets that I really love collecting. And here's card number 200 of Willie Mays. And this was a win. A set that I love collecting, and it's Willie Mays. Beckett had it at a 2. And so there's the Mays. What a cool card. I always love this horizontal orientation of the 1960 Topps. There's the back. A little bit of a pushed corner up here, a little bit of a pushed corner down here, but got it back from PSA, and it was a 3.5. So a win. So the results were mixed here in this kind of crack out experiment. Some were up, some were down, and frankly, it didn't really matter. As I mentioned, I'm just excited to add them to this 50s, 60s Hall of Fame run in PSA slabs. I started to put it into, I'm not a big spreadsheet guy for cards, but I have a T206 spreadsheet, and I just have updated this spreadsheet, and I think I'm up to 40 or 50 cards in this run, and these 6, 7, 8 cards in this crack out experiment are part of that. So it's been a really fun project, and it's just super cool to finally get to show you guys this, because I've been picking these cards up and then I sent them off to PSA, and of course we all know that took a while. So there it is. There's Willie Mays at a 3.5, and here's the rest of the stack. So it's been a really fun project. Someday I'll do a showcase or a check-in on how it's going and just show all the cards really fast or something like that. But anyway, hope you're all well. Really appreciate you watching, and I'll see you on the next video. Take care.